What's good with YouTube? Y'all know Big Flocka with a convict's perspective, and I'm gonna smash, dash, and slide on through that little bit of energy. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel, and hit that bell notification for future fire contents, man. It looks a little dark in here. Hold on, guys. See if I can take the picture brightness. There we go. So, we got another exclusive, not exclusive. I'm gonna quit using the word exclusive, but this is we got some breaking news, man, at a Pelican Bay State Prison, man. Another inmate death, man. It's becoming the norm, man. But let's discuss this one. Here we go. March 24th. California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation are investigating the March 23rd death of an incarcerated person at Pelican Bay State Prison as a homicide. At approximately 2:10 p.m., Pelican Bay State Prison officers and medical staff responded when incarcerated persons Nathaniel Dorswet and Derek Lance attacked incarcerated person Joseph Hill on one of the institution yards. Staff quelled the incident. Hill was taken to the prisoner's triage and treatment area for treatment of injuries he sustained from the attack. He was transported to a local hospital for higher level of care. However, he was pronounced dead at 3:51. Okay. Doris Switt, which is one of the ones that assaulted this guy, was sentenced to CDCR from San Bernardino County to serve a 15-year sentence for first-degree burglary and attempted second-degree murder, a second strike offense. Lance was sentenced to CDCR July 27, 2016 from Orange County to serve a life sentence with the possibility of parole for attempted first-degree murder with assault and with a deadly weapon and inflicting great bodily injury. Hill, who was the one that was who was attacked and died, was sentenced to CDCR from November 23, 2015 from San Diego, serving a life sentence with a possibility of parole for possession of controlled substance. Wow. Possession of controlled substance while armed with a loaded firearm, battery with serious injury, first-degree murder and attempted murder, 2 counts of use of a firearm, GBI. Oh, he had all kinds of charges, man. Officials have limited population movement on the yard to facilitate the investigation being conducted by Pelican Bay State Prison's Investigative Service Unit. So, man, it looks like this individual, man, this looks like a white removal. Joseph Hill from San Diego passed away. Let me see what they say about this individual. The court collapse. Filled courtroom. This is this guy that got murdered. Applause erupted from the gallery of San Diego courtroom Friday as a man was sentenced to 247 years behind bars for the murder of a Linda Vista man killed in his home 2 years ago. You're a criminal. You'll never see the light of day, the judge said to Anthony Hill, the man found guilty of the murder of Sean O'Toole. As Hill was given the maximum sentence for the murder of 199 years to life, plus an extra 48 years, claps filled the courtroom. Hill smirked at the judge, revealed his fate. More than a dozen of the victim's loved ones attended the sentencing, witnessing justice firsthand. This included the murder and the brother of the victim, who both addressed the courtroom. Hill did not sit quietly through the family's comments. After O'Toole, brother called Hill a coward. Hill responded by yelling expletives about the victim, claiming the victim was a bully. While speaking before the judge, O'Toole's brother and mother talked about how their lives had been impacted by the murder. O'Toole's mother said the victim was a father and now his son has to live without a dad. Sean was not perfect. He never claimed to be perfect. He made some pretty poor choices in his life and he paid the ultimate price, but he did not deserve to be murdered. At one point, a prosecutor said Hill had showed no remorse in the case. Hill yelled out that he agreed, saying he had no remorse at all. Fuck, dude. The victim's family asked the judge to enforce a maximum sentencing. Hill, a parolee with a long criminal history, killed O'Toole and wounded another victim, Travis Bondurant, on December 29, 2013. The next day, Hill was injured in a shootout in Point Loma after more than 10 rounds were fired between him and the officials from the U.S. Marshals. At Hill's trial, Deputy District Attorney Josh McLaughlin told the jury that Hill went on a rampage that began with the slaying of O'Toole. Prosecutors said Hill shot O'Toole because he had allegedly disrespected Hill's girlfriend. The victim was fatally shot on Drescher Street and dropped off at a local hospital. Yeah, so this guy, he has a couple cases. He kicked some girl in the face, man. This dude wasn't really a Joseph Anthony Hill, man. He had some other stuff that he had going on. Let me see. He had a lot of charges, man. He was not a stand-up dude, man, and You know what I'm saying? Kind of seemed like a sociopath in this case, man. I was reading a couple other cases right now to see a little bit about him. Nothing that indicated any type of deviant charges. Just kind of seemed like a sociopath. Had no remorse in his trial. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Bragged about it. Disrespected the victim's family members in the courtroom, man. You know what I'm saying? That's, who knows, man. There could be a lot of consequences. Maybe this dude that got killed was in good standings with, you know what I mean, certain white factions. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful about who you deal with within your own people. See, they have a little bit of a different political spectrum of things, right? Because they don't have like gangs out there in the streets, really. Like, you know, they got a couple like the Fresniks and, you know, the Fame and those cats, right? Those are different little groups in P9, right? But say if you're a rather white dude, you're out in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And you're not running cross checks and you run into it and you get into it with someone. You don't know if he's plugged in when he gets locked up. You don't know if he's plugged in with some brand members. You don't know that. You know, it's a little bit different. Whereas on the streets, you know, Northerners and Southerners know their limitations of what they can and can't do out there. You know what I'm saying? You get caught up real quick. And, or this could be a drug debt. Like I said, these killings, you never know what they're about, man. It could be about disrespecting a certain person of rank and status. It could be that they owed a debt. It could be that they disrespect another race. There could be all kinds of different scenarios. It could be something stemming from the outside. Or it could be that someone just doesn't like them, that has a little authority position, and decide to have them dealt with. I don't know. You know, Pelican Bay is, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on up there, man. Not as much drugs as there used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so far up there, they barely get visits. So the hustle is real there. But they've been going through this stuff in Pelican Bay for a minute, man. And so I think so far this year, we are approaching April. I think we've had a total of maybe 9 murders already in the Department of Corrections. Maybe 9 or 7, I think, man. But it seems like every 2 weeks we're hearing about a new murder. Bam. And they're all different people. They're all happening on different yards. Some are happening on the SNY yards. Some are happening on the active yards. Some are, we've had blacks, we've had North Daniels, we've had Sudanos, we've had every single group, man, that's catching bodies behind the wall, man. And that just goes to show, like I keep on telling people, you know, prison today is it's a little bit different. I mean, not saying that it's crazier from when I hit the system or the 70s or 60s, but it's up there because the reason why is before, when there would be riots and stuff, you'd have a whole group locked down for like a year sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they'd run mini yard or mini commissary just for that group. Nowadays, when a riot happens or a murder happens, they go back to normal program like within a couple of days. You know, you're not on no fucking extended fucking lockdown forever. Like for instance, say like in a Solano, we get off with the Sudanos or something, right? We're gonna at least be on lockdown maybe for 3 months at least. And say this is, even if it's just fist fighting, a melee, right? And what they'll normally do is they'll wait about a month, 6 weeks, and then they'll let out like everybody over 45 years old can come out. Then they'll go down to 35, right? Then finally they'll start letting us come out the day room, you know, the youngsters. And then afterwards, then it's a full out, everybody gets released. It was called a control movements. So you had to be a certain age to be able to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because they figured the older guys would be less inclined to get off and cause violence, so they'd wait and just see what the reaction was. If it was all out war, it's probably going to kick off. If it's not, they're going to be able to coexist. You know, I remember one time there was an incident between the I think it was the blacks and whites, and I think it was a one-on-one or something that may have happened, and it was the first time where we went to the yard. And I think it was all just Northerners and Southerners on the yard. It was a trip, man. Because you never see that, man. And I mean, that's how it used to go at times. We'd be on lockdown for like 2-3 months. And when we came off lockdown, there'd be new people there and they wouldn't know the rules, how it was when we were out there because we had mutual agreements. So say when we were in there, people start going into our territories. You know what I'm saying? Where we kicked it, where we sat, our benches and whatnot. So we'd have to go over there, reaffirm our position and stuff, man. But yeah, man, like I said, another murder, Pelican Bay State Prison. I don't know what to say about it, man. I mean, what do you guys think is the cause of all this continuous killings? I don't think it's the release of those from the shoe. I think it's more along the lines of the procedures they implement nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And this is how it's going to be. If you're fucking up and you're going to have it coming, it should make people in there start to rethink their choices. When you continuously see people get killed for different things such as drug debt, disrespect, you think that there'd be people who'd be more on high alert for their actions, you know. But I think over the past fucking 4 years, they've had more murders in any 4 year span than I think any other cycle except for maybe the 60s and 70s. Man, those were some violent times. Anyways, this is your boy Flacco. A quick video, man. I got some things to do. I'm gonna try to get out there and I may be taking that trip Sunday. I'm not too sure. It looks like I am. So I'm trying to get things in order, seeing if I'm going to be able to afford it. Okay, guys? You guys have a good one. I'm out.